Let's talk a little bit about turning necks for chambers that are non-turn chambers. Main reason we turn necks is for, in my opinion, bullet seating force consistency as well as bullet release consistency. So this is 6.547 brass that I necked down just slightly to 25 caliber, and I noticed when seating them, even when they're annealed, you get a lot of seating force variation with the necks being no turn. So I just took fired brass and turned it basically a thou under the thinnest porcelain. This brass varied from 13.7, 13.9 to 12.5, 12.2 when you measured around before turning. So I just took it all to 11 to 11.2 and loaded them and seated them, and the seating force was way more consistent. I mean, we had, you know, if you had a target of 40 pounds, maybe with the when you were seating them with the no turn, I mean, you go up to as much as standard deviation of 10, 15. So turn the necks go around even on the fire brass, and the SD of the seating force variation went way down. So then I shot them a couple times, about 4 or 5 times in the chamber, and it had 10 thousandths loaded round clearance in the neck of the chamber, and I saw no ill effects on the brass, no overwork or work hardening or cracks or anything there. I do anneal every time, so that could help with that. And I get a lot of questions asked, can I turn my brass if I have a no turn chamber? In my opinion, yes, you can. So this is all brass that's been fired but not turned yet. I had a bunch still loaded up, so I needed to get it fired before I can turn it. I've got 20 pieces here, so I'm just going to run through and let's check and just see kind of what this stuff is to start with. So we got 12, 8, so you can see it's kind of all over the place before it's turned. So let's turn 20 pieces and see. In the video it looks like we're at 3 minutes and 15 seconds. This is all manual, not CNC. This is right out of the gun, not sized or anything. Literally picked up off the ground, wiped off, and running them here. The neck should be fairly straight, right? Because it was just fired in the chamber. That's one very good benefit to the IDOD, in my opinion, is you don't have to size it to a specific mandrel and run lube and all that stuff. You can literally just run it nearly in any state. You can see the finish of the brass. So that's 6 minutes, basically 30 seconds. So we've got a little over 3 minutes to do 20 cases. So I don't believe there's any other quicker machine out there. So you can see here, I said in the beginning of the video that target was 11, 11, 2. So I'm just going to randomly pick some of these kind of different spots. I'm just going to show you. Randomly pick another one up that we just turned. I'll get right. Grab another one. And I can keep grabbing as many. They're all going to be right there. Sometimes you get a chip in there that will like those. Gotta make sure you get all the clearance out when you're measuring on the mic and get that apex. So anyways, you can see on the surface finish, this is just regular old. You can see it was actually fired in a Remington, so you can see the primer extrusion. So yeah, I just want to talk about turning brass within a no-turn chamber and using it. We find it to be very accurate and doesn't seem to overwork the brass if you're kneeling every time. Main thing is that seating force is consistent. I seat everything in a arbor press, so I monitor that force. If you guys are seating in just a rock chucker press, you're not going to see that variation, but you will see it on the target. I can nearly promise that. You go to 1,000 yards and test it, you'll see it. So yeah, just want to show you guys about turning fire brass.